Hello, we are ready for a new day, new week in Daily Devos. And so happy Monday, or whatever day you end up tuning into these things. I love that with the advance in technologies and social media that we can go back and watch whenever we need to, whenever we just need a boost of encouragement, we can go and we can find something quickly to give us what we need for that minute. I thank the Lord that He's given us those mediums and those tools to get the word out and to be encouraged in ourselves. So we're going to stay in Psalm 1, where we've been looking at Psalm 1:1. I'm going to read that verse, and this week the intent is to move on to verse 2, but there's one more thing that I really want to bring out in Psalm 1:1. So this says, of course I'm reading from the Amplified Classic Version, "Blessed, happy, fortunate, prosperous, and enviable is the man who walks and lives not in the counsel of the ungodly, following their advice, their plans, and purposes, nor stands submissive and inactive in the path where sinners walk, nor sits down to relax and rest where the scornful and the mockers gather." And of course that's where we ended last week, was that the blessed one does not sit down to relax where the scornful and the mockers gather. And of course, sit down to relax, we talked about that, making yourself comfortable there, that they hold you up, that you sit down and rest. It's like you make yourself at home, you're all comfortable, and you begin to let your guard down. And so when we let our guard down, the enemy, Satan, who hates us to the very extent that God loves us, he hates us that much, and the sheer hate versus sheer love. He is always watching for our guard to be down, because that is the most opportune time to strike. It's when we're not expecting it. And that's what I want to look at today, is it says, nor sits down to relax and rest where the scornful and the mockers gather. Of course, making ourselves at home, keeping that type of company. So we read 1 Corinthians 15:33, and I want to read that again, and this is where we'll look at today. So 1 Corinthians 15:33. And it says, "Do not be so deceived and misled. Evil companionships, communion and associations, corrupt and deprave good manners and morals and character." And so if you will remember, let me mark my place here so it's easy for me to get back there. When we talked about the very first week, we were looking at the ungodly following their advice, their plans, and their purposes. And we talked about the fact that there was order. And first we follow their advice, which leads us to what they were planning, and plans are intended purposes. So, and if you think about like a teacher's having to do lesson plans or student objectives, you have the objective first and then you work backwards from there. So if this is what we want to accomplish, these are the things that we do to get there. Well, in the same way, the purposes, the intentions, this is what we intend to do. This is our purpose, our objective. So these are the plans that we're going to get there, and then advice. So you can work backwards. And we talked about the same thing with Satan, the enemy, in John 10:10. Jesus tells us that the enemy comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And of course, his intention, his objective is destruction. And so to kill, and then he has to steal first. So there's order, and we talked about all of that. But in that same way, there's order in this, in 1 Corinthians 15. It says, "Don't be deceived and misled." And I love that the Father does not want us to be deceived or to be misled. Evil companionship, bad company. Another version says bad company. Evil communications is what the King James says. But bad company, evil companionship, communion, and associations. Associating with evil companionship and bad company. Associations corrupt and deprave good manners, morals, and character. And so I want you to see how those things get larger. So first of all, it's your manners. And I think if, looking at a child, it's yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, holding the door, thank you, please, sharing. Those are manners, right? And we're teaching Joseph and David our manners. And so first of all, evil companionship corrupts good manners. And then our manners lead to our morals, our standards, and then our character, who we are to ourselves, in ourselves, not to ourselves, but who we are in and of ourselves, our character. That would be things like integrity. And so evil companionship, when we sit down and we relax with the scornful and the mockers, and if you have ever had a child, and you may have noticed this in yourself too, but if children, if Joseph is with someone who does not have the best manners and they don't do those things, then I notice when he is back with me that it's almost like we have to work it back out. We have to relearn. We have to go over all of those things again to remind him where we are and who you're with, and this is how we act. And so it doesn't immediately go to our character and targeting our integrity and who we are as a person. But it starts at manners, and then from manners goes to morals, and then from morals goes to character. And so I just wanted to draw that point out before we left Psalm 1:1, is that it's still a process. In the same way that with the ungodly, we looked at advice, plans, and purposes. Well, with the scornful and the mockers, it's manners, morals, and character. And again, if we looked at, I'm sorry this is going long, but I don't want to shorten this. If we talked about the scornful and the mockers, making fun of people, mimicking, insincere, ridicule, the scornful is a lack of respect, making people feel like they're worthless or beneath you. And so if we are around those people and we keep company with those people, and to fit in, we may start doing the same thing. We may make fun of someone. We may offer our own ridicule or show lack of respect to other people, because that is what is accepted in this group of people. And so we cannot keep company, sit down and relax with the scornful or the mockers. But you see, if we open the door a little bit by having those kinds of associations and that kind of companionship, see, the enemy isn't just going to stop there and take your good manners. He's not satisfied with just your good manners. He's going to go after your morals. And then he's not going to stop at your morals. He's going to go after your character. And so you can see he steals, and then he kills, and then he destroys. But there's always order. There is a path. There's a way he operates. And I'm so thankful to the Lord that he sheds light. And as he says in this, do not be deceived and misled. Again, I'm so thankful that he's with us and that he guides us. And I hope that you have a great day today. And we will pick up tomorrow. And I will see you then. Bye.